Hello everybody, it's Slipshot, and welcome in for a very special episode of Minecraft Skyblock Infinite. You might be wondering why some of these old friends are here. And that's because we are proud to say that thanks to all of your support, our channel has flown past 100 subscribers. I cannot begin to tell you how much this means to me, and I hope we can continue being able to celebrate even larger milestones in the future. Honestly, everyone, thank you so much. But back to the silly block game I know you all are here to see. In the last episode, we tore a hole through the dimensional fabric itself and forced our way into the Nether, getting a few useful resources in the process. In this episode, we plan to carry on only a short time after we left off with a whole new set of trouble in the form of a Nether fortress. But we wouldn't be Slipshot if things went smoothly for us. But for now, let's leave the celebration behind and jump back into Skyblock Infinite. Welcome back to the world, folks. As you can see, we are still here at our gold farm, though we have made a few changes in between episodes. First of all, we did make just a couple cosmetic changes. In addition, we did make a few utility changes, such as moving that bottom slab up to the top level, so that we can get all this delicious experience behind us. The zombie loot is going directly into these large chests here and collecting automatically. Of course, you can see the swords have been a big problem for me, but that's something that we can take care of with a little bit of redstone. Over on the backside, we have a bit of storage that we can put all of our rotten flesh, our gold, and some of the miscellaneous items that we pick up from the mob drops, including some items that we can use just to fix the farm if anything ever happens. I do want to go ahead and grab some of this gold though, and head back up the nice little elevator that we created in between episodes. It's mostly just a combination of stone and cobblestone and a few iron bars mixed in, but it'll certainly do the trick getting us to and from our gold farm. And we fixed up the entrance at the top with just a little bit of stone and some leaves and terracotta pots to make the area look a little overgrown. We used the vines from the jungle trees to make the mossy cobblestone you see below us. I've also been busy building that piglin trading farm that I said we were going to build in between episodes. And for convenience, I built it just across the way from our gold farm entrance. I just used the simple method of making a platform and catching a few piglin on it, and then just building a house around it. Of course, we do want to throw on our golden shoes so we don't anger them when we get close, though I'm sure we'll have plenty to interest them in with all this gold we have. If we crouch in and walk right up to the center, we can stand on this little platform here and just make our way around, tossing each of the piglin a couple pieces of gold, and they will do all the trading for us that we need. They toss everything to me in the center where a line of hoppers picks it up and brings it all along this walkway to a treasure chest over here that does a little bit of sorting for me. Other than that stack of gold ingots we just gave them, we've only given them one or two others just to test the system and make sure it worked. But let's see what kind of goodies they've already left for us. Alright, not a bad haul. All the usual things you might expect to see, including some soul speed books, which is nice being there is no other way of getting those. The blackstone is also a pretty nice find. And you know what? I'll never turn down a little extra gravel. The real MVP for this moment, though, is going to be these splash potions of fire resistance. For reasons I suppose I should just go ahead and show you. You might recall in the last episode, we were having a lot of difficulties with our visibility here in the Nether. And we came up with the solution of having these shaders, being they gave us a lot more view distance. But I just didn't think that was good enough. I love this burnt orange that the Nether gives off now, but the visibility is still a little lacking as far as I'd like to see. With the visibility being as poor as it is, I decided to turn to one more simple mod. That one is just the Clear Void mod available in Modrinth. It's a really simple one that you'll be able to see the benefits of. You remember in vanilla Minecraft how hard it was for us to be able to see even this bastion right behind us. Well, now let's see what happens when we take off the shaders. There was a fortress right behind us this whole time. I guess sometimes it does pay to just take the easy route. But now there is nothing stopping us from making our way out there and starting our Nether adventure proper. Other than fixing up my bow here, we're probably about as prepared as we're going to get. Let's go ahead and grab some slabs and fix this thing up and see if we can't make our way out to that Nether fortress. If it's all the same to you all, I think I'm going to keep our vision a little clearer in the Nether from here on out. We might still toggle shaders once in a while. Oh, and I also fixed up the Crimson Vine farm. I figured it didn't hurt. We'll just head back to the overworld, grab some supplies, and head over to that Nether fortress.
One shopping trip later.
And we are back. We grabbed a couple slabs and a couple bows that dropped from the mob farm we had, and fixed up our bow to be nice and full. In addition, we managed to get it all the way up to power 4. With that unbreaking, we should be able to hold ourselves pretty well against anything we should come across there. Assuming we play it smart, play it safe, and put our blocks down in the right places. Let's just work our way out there. Of course, stopping to utilize the patented Slipshod safety chest. The only guaranteed protection from losing your stuff in a terrible fall into the void. This looks like a much better inventory to fall into the void with if we have to. But I'm feeling on top of the world today. Nothing can stop us. Let's just make our way out there. I'm down to the last stack of slabs that I brought with me, and we are getting close enough that mobs are gonna start becoming a problem very soon. We're just gonna run back to our hub, grab a couple more slabs, and then make that final push out to this Nether fortress. Alright, we should have all the slabs we need, including a few extras, and a bunch of cobblestone in case we need a few more. Of course, not all of this is going to come with me. Some of it's going to go into a stash chest out there on the far side. Let's jump back over that way now. Boing, 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 boing. We have our safety chest in place. Let's stash a couple blocks and slabs and push on out. Just go as fast as our little feet and fingers will take us. As soon as we hear mobs, it'll be time to run. We'll make a little tunnel to keep ourselves safe the rest of the way. Oh, no. We're being burned. Run. It's time to fall back, heal up, and get that tunnel made. We're just going to have to keep tricking them into despawning. And so begins the slow crawl to progress. Being it's getting so dangerous, we switched our diamond pickaxe out with an iron pickaxe, and we grabbed a couple more golden carrots. Move fast with confidence. Oh no! That didn't work at all. One more thing we can try. I didn't want to get into it quite so early, but we might have no choice. Let's see if this potion of fire resistance will help us. As quickly as we can, get as far out as we can. Keep believing, we might just make it. You know what? That's gonna be good enough. We are close enough. All right. While we have no gas, let's go quick. We did it! We officially made it into the terrible fortress. And hopefully this little line of cobblestone should make us be able to get down to it. I have a bit of a feeling this is going to wind up turning into a death mission very quickly. All things considered, so far so good. We've got this rim covered, we've got a staircase, and still have yet to die. If we keep taking it slowly and carefully, we'll get through this no problem. We've got one down. Whew. We have definitely got to make sure we watch out for blazes. I want to make sure we get all the spawnable spots completely covered up so that this place is a lot safer for us. Hey! Gave me a bit of a startle there. And off you go. Alright, one down. Where'd that other guy go? There he is. Maybe he'll let me sneak him off the edge, too. Where do you think you're going, buddy? You have a date with the void. Say hi to the void for me. And now that we have a nice safe space to work from in the Nether Fortress here, we can start moving some of those other items from our bug out bag over on that side. Slowly, we'll start to work our way through this whole fortress. We're definitely gonna have to do something about all the mobs spawning right behind us. We are geared back up, our cobblestone is all stocked up. Let's get back into this Nether Fortress and take it out. Oh, good. We get blazes right off the bat. Let's take those down. Alright, we've shot them out. Oh no, I see Hoglin up there though. That's never a good sign. Definitely not something I wanted to see. We're gonna try to get this whole walkway completely covered. But it looks like that blaze we took out did drop a blaze rod. Oh, and into fire. Perfect. That's the advancement I was looking for. And we got not today again. That's from that reset the other day. Let's take this guy out. You wanna fight? I've gotten a little better than I used to be. We'll put up another safety wall here. Oh. After we take out the skeleton. Perfect. Another skeleton down. Oh, where'd those blazes come from? I just stepped away from those. Whew. They're good shots. Let's fall back behind our wall. Heal up. Splash ourselves with a potion. And get back into it. Being very careful not to hit that zombie piglin. I do not want to deal with that right now. Perfect. Taken out like no trouble at all. We just have to watch out for those ones shooting off the side at us. Let's keep getting this all covered up. Wither skeleton trying to sneak up on us. And here comes another. Take that, wither skeletons. You guys are driving me crazy. Get out of here. Now, the smartest option is probably going to be trying to get up to the top floor and cover our bases that way. Work our way from the top down. That should clear it out for us. Let's try to make our way up and see if we can't touch them. Oof! Okay, abort, abort, abort. Not quite as easy as I hoped. But at least we have some cover for ourselves now going up. Let's try it again. We got one shooting at us. We'll have to be quick. Make a wall. Man, they're shooting from so far away. And they're gonna have a lot more projectiles than I am. Oof, we are down to just 2 arrows. On this note, I think it's time we head back and grab a few more arrows. We've made some pretty good progress into it so far, though. Just don't tell all the Blaze I said that. Let's just grab a couple more arrows out of here. That should be plenty for us. We have a couple extra ladders, so we'll go ahead and grab those while we're here. And while we're on the overworld, just get one nice breath of fresh air. Oh, how I'm missing this blue sky already. This has not been an episode for the overworld, though. Let's just get right back to finishing out this Nether fortress. And so we used our ladders to make our way onto the roof, figuring an assault from above would give us the best coverage. Unfortunately, the Blaze made it very clear, very quickly, that this idea would need to be rethought. We instead decided to break into the room below us through a window and take out all the resistance inside before quickly making up a little safe area. This would work as the perfect base of operations to get out and cover the rest of the fortress. The first order of business when we pressed out was to get a wall of cobblestone up to protect us from the incoming fireballs and stray wither skeletons. Once that was in place, we began to meticulously cover every spawnable surface on the top layer. We moved slowly and carefully, taking each part of the roof one unit at a time until we had the whole first section covered. I intended to only briefly look inside of the fortress, but I needed a way down and I noticed our first supply of proper nether warts. I harvested those after securing the area and instinctively continued to explore the indoors. Each corridor seemed to beckon me forward with the promise of treasure and adventure. It didn't take me long before I had worked out my own careful 3-step process to staying safe on my journey through the fortress. You can use this trick too by remembering one easy word: barbecue. Step 1. Barricade alternate routes. You'll want a gap of 2 blocks or less to stop wither skeletons. Other mobs should be able to be handled easily enough on their own. Step 2. Bombard enemies. A bow is always safer, but sometimes it's more fun to just go wild with a sword. Don't worry, we won't judge. Get out that aggression. And finally, step 3. Cover up everything. This one is pretty self-explanatory. What more do you want from me? But there you have it. Barbecue. Just repeat this process throughout the interior of the Nether Fortress and you'll be cooking in no time. Get it? Cooking? Because barbecue? Ah, sorry. I really slathered that one on thick, huh? But by using our sweet 3-step barbecue method, we were rapidly making moves through this fortress and making it our own one hallway at a time. There were a few close calls, but we managed to escape from any mortal peril. And what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. This old cat still has a few more lives left in him. We did also loot and destroy every chest we found while we were out exploring. Everything we gathered was to be taken back with us to our base camp. Progress was happening surprisingly quick, but I soon realized that the safer I made the inside, the more and more hostile the outside would become. We carefully tunneled our way out onto one of the roofs and began the dangerous process of working our way around, leaving our cobblestone infection on every surface we touched. This was every bit as difficult as one would expect, and we were constantly ducking out of the way of fireballs and voraciously eating golden carrots. Eventually, thanks to a well-placed wall, we were able to focus and get a major portion of this fortress covered without further notable incident. We even took all the time we needed to get down into all of the nooks and crannies that were much harder to spot. And believe me, there were plenty of them. By the end of it, it would be worth it just to have the safe passage whenever we needed. I did often travel back to our base camp to drop off loot and to pick up more supplies and cobblestone, but eventually I recalled we had gotten our piglin trading established earlier on. The potions of fire resistance they offer could come in quite handy dealing with the blaze. I spent a fair bit of time and gold with them before heading back out to the fortress with a pocket full of orange drinks to keep me safe. From this point on, the rest of this process should be a cakewalk. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show of a nether fortress succumbing to complete cobblestone infection. Despite all of my expectations of a fiery mortal fate and the grueling challenges we faced along the way, here I was on the final stretch of uncovered roof without a single new death to my name. Only a few mobs and slabs stood between myself and a safe nether fortress. I thought luck was on my side, as here on this stretch I got my first wither skull. And with the end in sight, I took it as a good omen. It didn't take long to be reminded just how hard the foolish can fall. Oh, come on! And we were so close too! I had all my good stuff on me as well. We're just gonna have to get that back from our villager traders and finish up that last little bit. I'll be right back with that. So, apparently when I say be right back, I actually meant more like a few days, as it has been a couple days of me taking care of a few chores around the island and doing a bit of AFKing at a couple of the different farms we have. And of course, thanks to the villagers we have, we were able to get our armor fully replaced. And we didn't even have to worry about our boots, as we had left those behind in the Nether hub. In addition to the armor, the villagers were kind enough to give me this nice new sword, and the skeletons from our mob farm gave me this nice new bow. We did get pretty lucky with some of the enchants as well. Our bow is already up to power 4, punch 1, and unbreaking 3, and our sword isn't too bad either, though smite isn't normally my favorite. And combining armor did let us get back a few levels of protection and a touch of unbreaking. And we can't forget buying and breaking a whole new diamond axe to get a bunch more cobblestone, since we lost so much to the void before. We'll just head back to the Nether and maybe get a little peek at a spoiler for later in the episode. In addition to a bunch of time spent down at the gold farm, we did also do plenty of piglin trading. I had to expand our storage out to this side since we wound up with so much of it already. We spent so long over here to get fire resistance potions, but this is everything we wound up with along the way. Some of these supplies are going to be so useful in the next episode. But I'm sure you're wondering about that Nether fortress that we were so close to finishing before we were claimed by the void. We'll run over to it now and, you know what, pop into free cam mode. We have covered up every single spawnable area in this entire fortress to make sure nothing can sneak up on us, with the exception of one little farm that we've made. We'll jump out of free cam and just run over to it now. We now have a super simple to make and super basic blaze farm. We hollowed out around the blaze spawner there, and we used just a little bit of lava that we found around the Nether fortress to make a simple channel that pushes them down into a little chamber for us. All we have to do is stand along the bottom, swipe through this little hole in the wall, and we can get all the blaze rods we need. We can always make something bigger and fancier if we need more blaze rods in the future. The few blaze rods it has got for us will more than serve its purpose. I have to say, I am so tired of this Nether fortress though. I am so happy to be finally heading home for the foreseeable future. We do have a bit of a mixed bag as far as our spoils of war are concerned. Of course, not included in those is our original things that we brought with us. Thankfully, our diamond boots, shovel, axe, and pickaxe, we were smart enough to leave behind, but everything else was easy enough to replace. Everything else inside this large chest was found either inside the Nether fortress or on the mobs that I slain while trying to cover up everything, including a ton more blaze rods. The rest of this stuff is good situationally, but nothing really important. I'll take some of it home just for safekeeping. It is going to be so nice to be able to finally wear these diamond boots again. Oh, the full diamond set. Goodbye, terrible golden boots. Long live the diamond. The blaze rods we collected in the Nether are going to be put to good use at our trading post, which I did spend a little bit of time making a couple changes over here as well. If we head just inside and to our little spiral staircase, you can see that it now actually goes downstairs. We have started to expand to a basement floor, as well as using railings to try to make automating the placement of the villagers a little easier on us. We used a bit of the redstone that the witches were nice enough to provide that dropped in our mob farm, and a little bit of the sand that we got from those buried treasures that we made into glass just to make this whole process a little easier on the villagers. The villagers up top still make the baby, who drop it down the chute here into our sorting system that will wait for the babies to grow up down there. Once they're large enough, they will hit that water stream, which pulls them up and drops them one final time here in this collection point. Thanks to a dispenser and rail line that I set up leading to our basement floor, we can just simply press the button, get a minecart, and watch our villagers take off to their new home. If we follow them along, we can just give them a bit of a push until we get them to where they need to go. Oops, but I forgot the extra rails for this guy. Give me just a second longer. There we go. Now, just to show you the process, you put 2 more railings, just leading them into their little cubby hole, and give that minecart one final push. It should take it all the way into their new home. Now, all you have to simply do is destroy the rail line. Thanks to the trapdoor in place, we can carefully break the minecart. Of course, using hitboxes is always advised. But once you get that back, slap a barrel down, and there you go. Another fisherman in place. I plan on moving all the fishermen down to the basement here and using the upstairs for some other more utility villagers. We'll use the same process for transporting them out that way, only just taking it up to the top floor. Popping into free cam mode real quick, I'll show you the way we're going to do that. It's just going to be taking this rail cart all the way along the outside, traveling it up a staircase to here, and then dropping it off inside. Actually, looks like we had a baby get loose at some point, but that should just be an easy trader to put in place a little later on. I'm gonna just send 2 more villagers along as I get together all the stuff to show you what professions I'd like to make the top floor villagers. Now, both of these professions will require a new profession block, but we should be able to make those with these few materials I've gathered up right here. One of the most useful villagers you can get in Minecraft can be obtained by making some paper and putting it in with a few pieces of leather to make a few books. You then take those books and put them in the middle row with a row of wood on either side to make a bookshelf. Grab a couple of slabs while you're at it to turn those slabs and that bookshelf into a lectern. That is going to be the first profession station that we're going to need. The next one requires these blaze rods that we fought so hard to collect earlier. One on the top and a line through the middle of cobblestone makes a brewing stand. These 2 villagers are going to be the brave pioneers of a new profession. When a villager assigns itself to a brewing stand, it should become a cleric. And there we go, he is a cleric. They are going to be a super useful one to trade with because they will take some of the massive amounts of rotten flesh we have and give us pure profits in return. As well, they are a much easier source of obtaining all the redstone we are going to need without having to wait for witches to spawn in our mob farm. And of course, the lectern in front of a villager will make them turn into a librarian. Librarians are able to trade several useful things, including receiving paper, which won't help us out too much, but they do as well sell bookshelves, which can be nice in a pinch. But the real treasures they have to offer come at a chance. Don't worry, if you don't like their trade, you can always break the lectern and place it down again to roll something new. And there we go. You can see they offer enchanted books. Now, the enchanted book they are going to offer is going to re-roll each time you break the lectern and place it down again. So with a bit of patience, there is no magical enchantments that we can't get. With some exception, but that's a story for another day. But I'll be honest, the ones downstairs here are still planning on being fishermen. I only wanted to show you what job they could become. I'll go ahead and put these back as barrels, and between episodes, work on getting all of our other villagers in place. Unfortunately, guys, I do think that is going to be all the time that we have for today. Thank you all so much for sticking with me for another episode, and for getting us all the way up to 100 subs. I know we have already surpassed that by quite a bit, and hopefully we will continue to grow in the future. Again, if you haven't had the chance to subscribe to the channel, I really would appreciate it. And a like and a comment on the video would really go a long way too. In the next episode, I would like to stay much more rooted in the overworld than we have the past 2 episodes. After all, this house has been becoming a bit more crowded than I like. And this egg situation has been getting out of hand. Stay tuned next episode when we start expanding our island, expanding some of our populations, and celebrate our 10th episode in SKYBLOCK Infinite. As always, everyone, remember to have an amazing rest of your day, and always try to be the good in it. I'm gonna get back to a little bit of busy work around here. Thank you again. I'll catch you all in the next one. So long for now.